Okay, so let's start how to configure TI portal. Here you can see we are having the version 14. Double click, open this software. It is starting a little bit slow. Okay, it takes some time. Okay, so this window will appear. Here you can see start option. Under the start, devices and networks, PLC programming. Okay, different options are there. And one option is online and diagnostic for checking any errors or faults here. Okay, from here also you can check. So here we have to create a new project. In this you go to the create new project option here. In this window you can give the project name. Okay, like I give today's date here 15/11/2022. Then click on create button here. So this file is creating here with your project m.ap15 sorry 14 here. Okay, now after your project is successfully created, this window will appear. Next we have to go for is configure a device. Just like we do hardware configuration in a schematic manager, here we are having configure a device option. Select this. Then this window will appear here. Show all devices, add new device. Okay. If it is selected, so all devices, there is nothing we have selected yet. So it is showing nothing here. So we need to add new device. When you click on add new device, now here it is showing you the list of the controllers, HMI, PC system like this. Go to the controllers. Expand which controller we are going to use, like 1200 series, 1500, 300 or 400. As we are going to see with the 1200, so expand that controller, CPU. Okay, now in this which CPU you are going to use, like you can see CPU 211C AC by DC by relay. RLY means relay, means first one AC is denoting the supply type, means source type for your CPU to power up. So for the CPU you can use 230 volts AC to power up the CPU. Then DC, that is for digital inputs. RLY is about your digital outputs. Okay, means you can, if it is a relay type, you can connect voltage with DC or AC. Okay, only DC means only 24 volt DC you have to give. If it is mentioned like DC, 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 DC means your CPU supply, it requires 24 volt DC only. Input is also 24 volt DC and output is also 24 volt DC. Like this, we are having different CPUs here. So for example, I am using this one, CPU 1211C, DC, DC, DC. In this, I am selecting the CPU type 1AE40. Okay, and you can give the PLC name also, like PLC 123 something, or any process or machine name also you can mention. Okay, as a device name. Then you can select the CPU version here. Okay, version 4.0, 4.1 or 4.2 is also there, and it is showing you the information about the CPU. Work memory is 50 KB, 24 DC power supply with DI6, means 6 digital inputs are there on this module, and DQ4, only 4 digital outputs, and there are AI2 on board, means 2 analog inputs also available on this CPU. Okay, so another thing like 3 high-speed counters, expandable digital signal board, and 4 pulse outputs, okay, on board. So like this, we're having some features here. And what's the scanning speed? 0.04 milliseconds for 1000 instructions. And Profinet interface for programming. HMI and PLC to PLC communication is also possible with the CPU. Then after selecting the CPU type, click on Add. So the RAM speed is a little bit slow here. That's why it is running slow. It's only 8 GB RAM. Okay. So this is the view for your project. Okay. Here you can see under project it is showing the devices. Okay. So this is for one device here, what we are connected. For this you can see PLC123, that name we are given. And for this device configuration window is open. This is already device configuration window. Online and diagnostics. If you are having PLC online, then you can select with this. Then we have program blocks. Okay, add new block. In this you can see main OB1, another technology blocks like if you are using PID, etc. High speed counter that you can use. PLC tags. Here you can create the tags like we are having a symbol table in schematic manager. Okay, here it is called PLC tags. Okay, so there is a default tag table is available, but if you want to create your own symbol table, different tables you can create here. Then we have watch and force tables. Okay, just like we're having variable table in schematic manager, here it is known as watch table. Here you can enter a list of input outputs to monitor. Okay, now on the right side you can see we're having devices. Here this is showing you the overview of the module. If you just expand this, you can see this is your CPU type, CPU 1211C DC DC DC. Okay, then zoom and check this. On this module, you can see it is having start, run and stop LED, error LED, and maintenance LED. So here CPU type 1211C DC by DC by DC, and here you can see some addresses also mentioned here. I0.0, I0.1 with percentage here. Same addressing format, just like we have done in schematic manager, and Q0.0 to Q0.3. Okay, so this is a basic module. It is not having any expansion module options here. After this CPU, you cannot expand any more modules. But if you are using any other module like 12C, 14C, Okay, in those CPUs we are having expansion option. Okay, left side we can see it is showing 3 slots, 101, 102 and 103. These are for expansion of your communication modules. Communication modules like here you can see in the right side window in hardware catalog. If I expand this communication modules, in short it is known as CM. Okay, for like Profibus communication, I need to add a separate port because on the CPU we are having one Ethernet port. Okay, we're not having that 9-pin connector, Profibus connector. If I want the Profibus connector, I can add this connector communication module here. Okay, and any other communication module if you like point to point. Okay, point to point in the case like 232 type. Okay, or 422 or 485. This modules also you can configure if you are going with the third party modules. Okay, that also you can do. So maximum 3 different types of ports you can add here. Okay, now here you can see in the right side this windows we expand and just move it here. Here also it is showing you the details window. I can close this hardware catalog window here by selecting this arrow button. Okay, right corner you can see. Then I can expand it like this. So here you can see I address and Q address for DI 6 by DO DQ4, right? DQ means digital outputs. So byte numbers are starting from 0 for inputs and outputs. For analog inputs, there are 2 analog inputs, so it is taking 64 to 67 byte numbers. Okay, 64, 65, 66, and 67. 4 bytes are there. So 2 analog inputs, 2 words. Okay, one analog input takes 1 word. Okay, so 1 word means 2 bytes. So 64 and 65. For another input address 66 and 67. Okay, and there is no analog output here. But if I want to add any analog output, okay, I can add by using this signal board option here. Okay, select the signal board. This box you can see means if I am having only 6 inputs, digital inputs, I need a few more inputs like maximum up to 4 digital inputs and 4 digital output module you can add here in the signal board. Okay, that you can select from hardware catalog. So here you can see signal board option. We're having DI module, DI4, okay, 5 volt DC or 24 volt DC. So DI by DO module is also there, 2 digital inputs and for 24 volt or 5 volt DC modules are there. So for analog input, it is only one analog input, okay, and one analog output. Okay, input and output module will be there. So I can select this analog output module here, double click, it will be added here. You can see it is added here, and you can see the information window here, details window. It is showing you the analog output address also, Q address, byte number is 80 and 81, right? So 2 bytes, 1 word, okay, for output address also. Now after this configuration, okay, for your digital inputs and outputs, next we have to configure our IP address. For that, select the Ethernet port or double click on this Ethernet port. It will take you to the property window of your configuration. Sometimes it is showing at the bottom like this. Okay, at the properties you have to select. Okay, so you have to open this property window by selecting this arrow button. Okay, it will extend. Then go to the Ethernet addresses. Under this Ethernet addresses, you have to click on subnet. Okay, add new subnet for Ethernet communication. So click on add new. The subnet name will be added automatically PN by IE. Then below you can see the IP protocol, IP address of this CPU 192.160.0.1. Okay, this is by default it is coming, but if you want you can change. Okay, after setting this, I can go to IO tags also. You can see after general we are having IO tags. So when you select the CPU, it will show you the list of the inputs and outputs we are having. You can see the name, type, address. So this is for your IW64. This is for analog input. Okay, it is in integer format. So there are two analog inputs. Okay, so two addresses are there. For digital inputs, we are having 6. So 0 to 5. Here you can give the names like start, stop, some name also you can mention here. Okay, for inputs. And if you go down, you can see the digital outputs also like motor 1 something, M1, M2, some names you can mention. Okay, so that way you can enter the symbolic names. Then I can save this window from by selecting this window here, save window settings for your hardware configuration. Okay, after doing this hardware configuration, we no need to download right now. You can simply go to the program blocks and double click open this main OB1. Now you can close this window here by selecting this up arrow. Suppose you can hide this main window property window by selecting this button here, the down arrow button. You can adjust the window. So here you can see the view. Everything is available in the single window, like your project details. Okay, hardware configuration window will be opened here only, and your program block OB1 and other program blocks are also displayed here. Right side also you can have the instruction list. Okay, but in schematic manager you have to open separate window for hardware, separate for OB1. Okay, means for programming block, like that. So everything you will find here. Okay, to open OB1 or FCFB, you need to go to schematic manager, but here you no need to go to that window. Now in this PLC tags, when you double click open default tag table, here also you can see the list of the tag names we are entered. Okay, start, stop, that list will be displayed here. Okay, this for your creating the list of inputs and outputs. Okay, it's like I take input 1 and I give the address M0.0. I'm using M address for input 1. Okay, IP2 input 2. Okay, IP3, like this I can create, because we cannot use I address for simulation here. I'm using M address. Okay, for output you can use simulator. Okay, or direct addresses. Okay, now I save this table. Then I go to the main OB1. From here also you can see main OB1 default tag table, that also you can open from here by selecting this windows. Okay, in schematic manager we don't have this option. Okay, so some features they are added in TIA portal. Okay, which is very user friendly and easy to configure. Now you can see we are having instructions here and no, and one output you can select here. Okay, double click this list window, it's like a symbol is there, like a list. Select on this, you can select your inputs like input 1. Okay, and press enter. it takes that address. Similarly for the output, motor 1. Okay, now save this window also. We need to download this. Okay, so save the project first, then check for the errors. Okay, save project means if we click here, it will save all the windows. Okay, what are the windows we have configured, hardware and all other program blocks will be saved. Okay, with this save project. And if you are selecting this button, it is saving only that particular window. Okay, now here we are having compile option to check for any errors in the program. If there are any errors, at bottom you can see it is showing you the properties. Go to, okay, so block was successfully compiled and compiling finished without errors. Okay, zero errors and zero warnings. If there are any errors, we are having this arrow button. When you double click on that, it will directly take you to that error in your block. Okay, now in case I add some NC here and I'm not giving any address. Now I click on compile. Now you can see here one error, input or output is missing. This arrow is shown. Okay, double click on this arrow. You can see it is showing this blue line. Okay, because we are not given the address and we are taken NC but not given the address. Okay, so like this you can check with the compilation, any errors or faults. Sometimes you might be missing the addresses, right? You are taking a no NCs, but you think like later I will enter the address and you forgot. In that way, you can check this compile. Okay, check with the error. Just hide it. Now we're having this download to device button. But before downloading, we have to start the simulation. Okay, Plcsim. Select online button on toolbar. Simulation option is there. Click on start. Starting simulation will disable all other online interfaces. Say okay. So it will take some time. Okay, so now this window will appear with this simulation. Okay, window Plcsim for 1200. So in this window, you can see the PG-PC interface, just like in schematic manager step 7. We're having PC-PC interface, right? There we have to select the protocol, which protocol we are using. As we are using PNIE, PN means Profinet, I means Industrial Ethernet. Okay, and we are using Plcsim interface and connection to the subnet. So what subnet name we are given? PNIE. Select that subnet, then click on start search button here at the bottom. It will search for the module. Now, after successfully searching the module, it will show the CPU common. Okay, so for simulation, it will show the name as CPU common. Okay, with simulation. So select this CPU and then click on load at the below option. Okay, below you can see there's a button called load. Click on that. Do you want to save the settings? Say yes. Now it is starting to download your project. Okay, so everything is okay. Then click on load. Now it is loading the program. Initially it was compiling. Now it is loading. After it is done, you can see start all option is there. Okay, start modules. Select start module. Click on finish. Now you can see this CPU is coming to run mode. Okay, it's coming in run mode. Okay, now you can minimize this. Now to operate this input, okay, here we are having motor on off button. Click on this on off motor button. It goes to the online status. Now here you can see it is coming online. At left side you can see it is showing green dots. Means if it is green complete dots, that means your logic is complete and without error. If it is showing half and half, means one color will half color will be like blue and green, means you are having some errors in the program. Okay, incomplete program is downloaded and you are going online with that. Now select your input, right click, go to the modify option here, modify to 1. You can see output is on. Right click here, modify to 0. So this way we have to operate the inputs here. Okay, and you can go offline from here, motor off. Say yes. Now you're offline. Now if you want to take NC here, you no need to delete this and take that NC and rename the address. So simply select here. You can see there is a green corner here. Okay, select this corner, drop down this option. Okay, scroll bar, select NC. Okay, it's very easy here. So simply you can directly change the instruction. Now I save this and download. Then you can go to monitor. You can see here NC. Right click here, modify to 1, will break. Okay, modify to 1, then modify to 0. Okay, so this is how you can work with the simulation here. Go offline and so this is how we have to start the application. Okay.